Tonight, a momentous day. A major agreement is reached at Inverness and Cromarty Firth Green Freeport, unlocking £25 million of government funding. Also tonight, tributes are paid to former Lib Dem leader and North East Fife MSP Sir Ming Campbell after he passed away aged 84.
I think when Ming spoke, people dropped what they were doing and listened, and a lot of people said he was the greatest foreign secretary that we never had.
In sport, Aberdeen manager Jimmy Tilleen says he and the players are fully united as they seek their first league win of the season against Motherwell. The #1 selling toy in the world comes to real life in their worldwide debut. Hot Wheels stunt cars screech into Aberdeen. Good evening, I'm Norman MacLeod and this is the STV News at 6, live from Aberdeen. The creation of a green Freeport for Inverness and the Cromarty Firth has reached a milestone with the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the UK and Scottish governments. The Scottish Secretary, Douglas Alexander, met with the Deputy First Minister Kate Forbes and Freeport partners this morning to mark the agreement, which will unlock £25 million of government funding. Nicola McCally reports.
11,000 new jobs could be created at this new green Freeport, some of them like this. These skills and more in renewables-related roles will be in increasing demand as the port develops. A project milestone was reached today with the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the UK and Scottish governments, unlocking £25 million in funding.
Economic security is fundamental to national security and to economic prosperity. And we have huge opportunities here in Scotland and across the UK to be a world leader in new technologies like floating wind. That's why the announcement that we're making today of £25 million is such an important commitment, because it's the start of a process, not the end of a process.
Green Freeport status has only been awarded to 2 Scottish bidders, Inverness and Cromarty Firth, which encompasses a variety of ports and sites, and the Firth of Forth, beating off bids from other contenders including Clyde and Orkney. The zones will be permitted to offer special tax breaks to renewables firms, and it's forecast the Highlands will attract £6.5 billion over the coming decades.
Today is a momentous day. It has been 5 years in the making, and it essentially puts the Highlands firmly on the radar of all clean energy supply chain investors who are looking at where to invest their money and to locate their business. We've already seen significant investments like Sumitomo, Mitsui, Ardesir. Those are all creating hundreds of jobs in the Highlands already.
Those behind the vision hope it will build a legacy of high-quality jobs for the region.
Everything from people who do fabrication through to environmental consultants, HR consultants, house builders, everything. There's a huge range. So, we're going to be looking at how we build the capacity of our region. We already lose a lot of people in this area, young people leaving. We want to keep our people here, but also the Highlands has always been a place where people have come and moved around for work. So, these jobs aren't all coming tomorrow. It's going to be over the next 5-10 years. But that gives us time to increase the capacity in the area, everything from housing to training. And we're already in schools making sure that the workers of tomorrow know the opportunity that there is.
It's been half a decade in the making, but today's signing marks a real milestone for the green Freeport here in the Highlands, with the region set to become an industrial powerhouse once again. Nicola McCally, STV News.
Tributes have been paid from across the political spectrum to Lord Ming Campbell, who's died at the age of 84. The former leader of the Liberal Democrats passed away peacefully in London. An international sprinter and a leading lawyer before entering politics, Lord Campbell, known as Ming, represented North East Fife for almost 3 decades.
Mingus Campbell made his name in 3 different arenas: the politics, law and athletics. As the leader of the Liberal Democrats, a Queen's Counsel and an Olympic and Commonwealth athlete. Universally known as Ming, Campbell competed at the 1964 Tokyo Olympics and 1966 Commonwealth Games in Jamaica. He followed a career in law, eventually becoming a QC.
These liberal responses, for me and I guess for pretty well everyone here, are a matter of intuition rather than a matter of logic.
Throughout, he was a dedicated member of the Scottish Liberal Party. His first attempts to be elected to the House of Commons were in vain, but in 1987 he finally became an MP, winning North East Fife. As his party's foreign affairs spokesman, he was critical of the Iraq War.
Ming Campbell had a voice that transcended not just British politics but also international politics. I think when Ming spoke, people dropped what they were doing and listened, and a lot of people said he was the greatest foreign secretary that we never had.
He was elected party leader in 2006, succeeding Charles Kennedy.
I'm going to modernise our party so as to make a reality of three-party politics in Britain.
Some critics believed he looked ill at ease in the role, regarding him as stiff and uninspiring. Supporters say he was the victim of ageism. He quit the leadership in 2007, being succeeded by Nick Clegg.
I can remember some uproariously funny moments with him and his late wife Elspeth, where we'd be in social occasions, and they were always delightful company to be with, and he'll be sorely missed.
Ming Campbell will be remembered as a logical and passionate advocate of liberal values at home and abroad. He served his constituency, his party and the country with distinction, earning the respect for the way he carried himself and his politics.
Ming Campbell. The oil giant Equinor has submitted an updated emissions assessment of the proposed Rosebank oil field off Shetland. Earlier this year, a court ruled the consent granted to the development along with the Jackdaw gas field was unlawful, as it didn't take into account the emissions created when the oil and gas is burnt. The Norwegian company says it's resubmitted the assessment and says it remains fully committed to the project. A man's been arrested and charged in connection with the serious sexual assault of a 17-year-old girl in Dundee. The incident took place last Friday in the Pentland Avenue area of the city. The 36-year-old is due to appear at Dundee Sheriff Court at a later date. A new block of specially adapted homes destroyed by a fire in Dundee last night were just weeks away from completion, according to builders. Emergency services were called to the construction site on Lothian Crescent in Whitfield around 10 p.m. Nearby residents were told to keep doors and windows shut. Fire crews left the scene around 4:30 this morning. Police are trying to establish the cause of the blaze, but it's left workers distraught.
These were the last two houses to get block work to them. The roof tiles were on and the roughing was well through. We were probably perhaps 8 to 10 weeks away from finishing them complete. Obviously very annoyed. It was unexpected. We'd had minor incidents on site, but nothing like this.
11 Scottish universities are projected to be in deficit in the coming year. University Scotland says the Scottish Funding Council's latest figures are the starkest the sector has ever seen amid a high-risk financial environment. It comes as hundreds of jobs are set to go at Dundee University, which is facing acute challenges as it tries to plug a £35 million deficit. A former cinema in Lochgelly is to be demolished after it was ravaged by fire. 2 teenage boys were arrested in connection with the blaze on the town's Bank Street last Friday. Fife Council says that demolishing the building is the safest option. Tenants of nearby flats are being rehoused while the work continues. As the temperature drops and the colder weather starts, a community fire station in Angus is looking for donations to ensure no child goes cold this winter. Arbroath Community Fire Station have launched their winter jacket appeal. They're asking local people who are able to drop off good quality coats to do so at the station.
Everybody knows firefighters are there to help. We help them in their emergency needs, but over the last few years there's been a lot of commitment to helping people through improving their well-being. So we are the centre of the community and people want to help us help the community, so we use that to our advantage.
Now, care home residents in Dundee have been going for gold in an annual simulated sports day event. 22 teams from homes and daycare centres from across the city took part in challenges such as bowls, curling and cycling, with residents scoring points throughout the day. This year's theme was music, meaning it was a celebration of fond memories as well as movement.
For today we've got the best dressed, we've got the best team flags, so we've got lots of different flags and the effort that goes into that, and the idea is that all the residents within the care home get involved in making the flags and the badges. We've got the best team events, so all the activities that you're seeing coming on, and all of them have got certificates, prizes, but everyone gets a medal of participation.
Some of them are serious about the competition, but it's more about the enjoyment of it. You'll see that people are dressed up. When we've got the music on, because our theme's music, we've had a full dance floor this morning of people enjoying their favourite tunes from the past. So it is just about them getting the chance to be social with other people, enjoy a little bit of activity and spend time together outside the care home enjoying themselves.
Now, September marks Recovery Month, a time to celebrate the achievements of those on a journey to overcome problematic alcohol or drug use. And behind the gates of Scotland's only open prison, there was a moment of silence and a message of hope. At Castle Huntley, inmates remembered lives lost to addiction and to walk together in recovery. Saul Siverite has this.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change.
A time to reflect and to remember. Inmates at Castle Huntley gathered in the Memorial Garden this morning, attending a service to honour those who lost their lives to addiction. September is Recovery Month, a chance to highlight the resilience of those on the recovery journey and to promote hope, healing and community. Gary McCafferty, a former inmate who once battled addiction, now returns to Scotland's prisons to support others. Today, he joined those on the recovery walk. Is it something that you find rewarding for yourself, being able to return, share your experience, spark a conversation that may well be helping other people?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the biggest thing that I got out of it, that if I can say one sentence, one word, one short conversation over the space of 2 minutes, if that can even make somebody think a bit differently. Not actually change them, but just think a bit differently, yeah, then that's the biggest bit that I get out of coming back into prisons.
Nobody wants to come to prison, but fortunately this has probably been the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Darren, who is currently serving his sentence at Scotland's only open prison, is going through his own recovery journey.
I came to prison this time, I found it really difficult. I found it really difficult to fit in, because I'd started a recovery journey with outside of prison, and I seen the dark side of prison, the part that I could no longer connect with. I was suffering, and that allowed me to grow and allowed me to change and allowed me to identify that I was no longer part of this, and then connecting with the people that were already on that journey.
The Scottish Prison Service says it's committed to building a culture of recovery behind bars. Here that vision is already taking shape.
People have that ability to change their lives around and turn around and then give back to the people that supported them through their own journeys, and it's really fulfilling to see, because actually that's what we're here to do. Our job is to give them the support they need in whatever way we can deliver that with partners to support them back into the community.
At Castle Huntley, the NHS Tayside Substance Misuse team provides vital on-site support for those working to overcome addiction.
The recovery walk that we're holding at Castle Huntley today, and then tomorrow the kind of bigger recovery walk through in Stirling, it just provides a really good opportunity to shine a spotlight on recovery and to show it in a positive light. You know, we want to have a much more kind of asset-based approach towards recovery. It can happen, it does happen.
Recovery Month is about more than reflection. It's about action, support and second chances. Here at Castle Huntley, the journey is ongoing, but for many, it's a journey filled with hope. Saul Siverite, STV News, Castle Huntley.
That takes us to the sport with Chris, and a lot at stake for Aberdeen tomorrow.
Absolutely. After the defeat against Dundee United, their manager Jimmy Tilleen said they'd reached rock bottom. The only way was up, in the immortal words of Mick McCarthy. Can it get worse? It can. But they can also get a win. And you've got to be positive. Maybe this weekend will be the weekend it all changes.
No pressure.
Your window to sport. C.R. Smith sponsors STV Sport.
Good evening. Yes, Aberdeen manager Jimmy Tilleen says he and his players are fully united as they look to end their dismal winless run at Motherwell tomorrow. And while it's their worst start to a league campaign since 1999, that 9-game spell ended with a win at where else? Motherwell. It may have been a different century, but if Aberdeen are looking for a positive omen, then just look all the way back to 1999. The Dons had gone 9 without a win that season, but manager Ebba Skodal and co ended the run in spectacular style, beating Motherwell, this weekend's opponents, 6-5 in an all-time great game.
No, honestly, I never think about this, what's happened before, or these omens and these kind of things. I believe in the hard work and what we can control ourselves. But hopefully it's a good omen. Let's see.
The Dons haven't been terrible, but they've not been terribly good either. Confidence can be hard to come by, but the Steelmen are far from an unknown after the two sides met in the Cup a matter of days ago. For those in red, the target is a simple one.
Yeah, everyone wants to start winning football games. We want it as bad as everyone else, so I think it's just up to us to show it now and show how good we are.
Get that win bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not the direction is not so front foot as we want. It's too much hesitation, and then we turn back and play more backwards than forward. So that's what we have worked on, and I think we have this just a calm chat about what we want to be, and when we show everyone, it's super clear for everyone. So if this works, then also our strikers or wingers or whatever are going to get more opportunities.
Aberdeen have Kjartan Kjartansson missing with a calf strain, but the young Icelander is expected to be back next week. Now, Dundee United manager Jim Goodwin says his side are in a better shape to face Kilmarnock this time around. Well, the Tangerines' last defeat came at the hands of Killie when they were knocked out of the League Cup at Rugby Park. Here's Stephanie Daly.
A 2-0 victory over Aberdeen this week saw Dundee United move up to third in the Premiership. Tomorrow they're out to strengthen their grip on that spot when Kilmarnock visit Tannadice. Unbeaten in their last 3 games, United's last defeat came at the hands of Stuart Kettlewell's side. But without the impact of European football this time, Goodwin is expecting a different game.
People don't like managers making excuses for defeats, and I think sometimes it's better just to credit the opposition. But we did play 2 hours of football against Rapid Vienna out here on the Thursday, and had really no time whatsoever to turn things around, and had a lack of players available to us as well. I think that's something as well probably worth mentioning is the options now that I've got on the bench. The substitutes that I'm making, the changes that we make during the game don't ever weaken the team, which as a manager is fantastic.
Ivan Dolcek is currently the Premiership's top goal scorer, and teammate Vichko Chevet is taking the credit for his move to Tannadice.
I want to be agent after, so yeah, I'm starting even now.
Are you going to try and convince him to sign the contract to stay a bit longer?
Yeah, every day to training and back.
After their first league win of the season at home to Livingston, Dundee are out to make it back-to-back wins when they travel to St Mirren. And a victory would see the 6th place Dark Blues leapfrog Stephen Robinson's side.
They've only lost to Celtic in the league, so they're a good team. They're in the semi-finals of the Cup, so it's a real challenge for us going down there, but one that we should look forward to because we've only suffered 1 defeat in our last 5 games, so that's shown some level of consistency, and of course going into it on the back of our first win. So it's a game we're excited about.
A win this weekend obviously pushes you up the table, which is a good thing. But we just got to focus on the task at hand and how we're going to beat them. And we've trained well this week. We know what's expected of us at the weekend, and yeah, we're ready for it.
Elsewhere tomorrow, Celtic welcome Hibs and Hearts host Falkirk, while Rangers travel to Livingston on Sunday. Stephanie Daly, STV Sport.
Now, current Ross County manager Tony Docherty says he's putting his players through double sessions as they work hard to return to winning ways. The Staggies head to Morton tomorrow in search of their first win in 8 championship games this season.
We work hard at this football club. You know, the players work hard. There's a lot of double sessions. You see them just now. You know, it's double sessions most days. But you know, it's work on the training ground, in the gym, and the analysis room towards getting better. And it's no different this week. The sharp focus is on Morton. You know, because they're our next opponent. So we've done a load of analysis on that, and we're making sure that every day we work towards putting in that, as I say, that consistency of performance.
Yeah, hopefully that will lead to a victory for them. Now to golf finally. And Europe are in the driving seat as the Ryder Cup gets underway in New York. But despite the early victories for Luke Donald's team, Scot Robert McIntyre couldn't make it a clean sweep for Europe in the foursomes. Stephen Brown has been watching the action.
Represented by Robert McIntyre and Victor Hovland.
Bob McIntyre and the rest of the European team were determined to drown out the American crowd in New York on the first day of the Ryder Cup. But McIntyre, along with his partner, Norway's Victor Hovland, were one down early on, but some precision putting from McIntyre helping to keep them in touching distance. While the board elsewhere was turning blue, McIntyre and Hovland struggled. The Scot, though, tried at times to keep his pairing in the hunt for points. Elsewhere, even for the number one in the world, the New York course at times was proving too tough. Soon, Europe had won 3, and it was the dream start for Luke Donald's side. And McIntyre and Hovland did mount a charge, but they lost the final 2 holes, and in the end, the match. But at the end of the morning session, Europe are in control. Stephen Brown, STV Sport.
Well, to ice hockey now, and Dundee Stars head coach Mark Lefevre hopes their incredible start to the season will continue against the Fife Flyers in a doubleheader this weekend. Well, the Stars scored their second defeat of Elite League champions Belfast Giants last time out, defeating the Ulstermen a whopping 5-2 to top their Challenge Cup group. But Fife are the Flyers in the ointment so far this season after they defeated Dundee 4-0 in their first meeting 10 days ago.
Well, I think it's good to be humbled sometimes. We had a great weekend last weekend, then we come into Tuesday. I don't know if we thought it was going to be easy. We just didn't work like Fife did, and you should see the result for that. So we have to respond here next weekend. 2 big games. Going to a tough building in Fife, obviously, and 1 at home. We want to get all 4 points to keep climbing up that ladder here and keep our top of the table status.
And the Stars play the Flyers on Sunday evening at the DIA. Have a great weekend.
Your window to sport. CR Smith sponsors STV Sport.
Well, let's move on to the weather now. And Sean, I dropped the car off at the garage earlier and I was walking faster into town because the wind was behind me.
Does that mean you arrived at work a bit earlier today? Just hopefully you've got that wind getting you home later on as well. But yes, it's been a blustery old day today. We've had gusts of wind Aberdeenshire about 35 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour across the Northern Isles, but it's across the Western Isles. South Uist today we've had gusts up to about 50 miles per hour. Winds and also cloud. This cloud here is going to bring us some rain tomorrow, especially to central and western parts. Let's look at the forecast.
Outbreaks of ancient sites will gradually settle into an evening of pizza plates al fresco. TUI sponsors STV Weather.
Well, it's been a bit of a blustery day in some spots today. A bit of a squeeze down in the ice bars. A little bit of a breeze up that east coast to Fife, the Angus Aberdeenshire coast, and still a little bit breezy in some spots tomorrow. A weather front coming through tomorrow which will bring us some rain, but the good news, at least for us, is it doesn't look as if the worst of that rain will get to us until the end of the day. Now through tonight, a lot of dry weather with clear spells, but because of that breeze, nowhere near as chilly as it's been in recent nights. Of course, recent nights have been showing you that map with the temperatures down about 3-4 degrees in parts of Perthshire. Tonight we're, well, 10, 11 degrees, so staying in double figures. Still about the low 50s in Fahrenheit. Now tomorrow morning, hopefully we start the day with a little bit of sunshine in places. Still got that breeze running up the Fife, the Angus coast. For most of us, a dry start to the day. We see that rain coming in. Probably about 3-4 o'clock the rain will start to come in, and we could get some heavier bursts, especially across Perthshire by the end of the day. I think it's going to be a wet old evening for most of us. Temperature-wise tomorrow here, about 15, 16, just nudging into low 60s in Fahrenheit. But we will see that rain. So a wet evening to come, wet overnight tomorrow night. That rain then clears away north and east on Sunday, and it should become drier and brighter. Now, if you've got plans for next week, the weather at least not too bad. Monday and Tuesday, a lot of dry and bright weather for us, but I think there's a slightly higher chance of us seeing a little bit of rain by the end of the week. Bye-bye.
TUI sponsors STV Weather.
Now, they're the #1 selling toy in the world, and the life-sized Hot Wheels cars are gearing up to give families in Aberdeen an epic stunt spectacular. The world first show kicks off tomorrow at the city's P&J Live. Our reporter Oliver Wright went along for the ride of his life.
Cars like this are a familiar sight in children's rooms across the country. But now, what about this? Life-size Hot Wheels cars are coming to Aberdeen for a world-first spectacular.
The fans of Aberdeen get to be the first fans ever to witness this new, brilliant show brought together. We're talking amazing stunts, 10 challenges, and at the very end, if these new recruits can unlock all 10 challenges, they're going to get to see the epic stunt, the signature Super Loop car.
In 4 shows across the weekend, families will get the chance to see some incredible stunts from cars, motorbikes and quad bikes, with some of the world's most talented stunt drivers here to wow families.
This is on a whole nother level. We're bringing this inside into an arena on a concrete floor. There is some elements that they have yet to face themselves, and this weekend they are going to be facing them for the very first time in front of a live audience.
So, what better way of getting a taste of what's to come than having a go for myself? So, I am all kitted up and I'm going to be going on a ride in this car. I'm paired up with Marco. I'm told he's very good, but that hasn't quite settled my fears. So, I will see you on the other side. That was amazing, but it's definitely not something I'm going to do again anytime soon. Oliver Wright, STV News.
He's been a bit green all afternoon. That's it. Have a good evening.